Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Wednesday, the 13th of October, 2021. It's a public holiday here in Thailand, and I'm awake early. Isn't it weird that when you don't have to wake up, sometimes you wake up early, and sometimes when you have to get up early, you really don't want to get up? Okay, such is life. We'll get on with our medium level puzzle, Sudoku puzzle, in a second, just before I mention something in the news, and that is Canberra in Australia. What do we know about it? We know it's the capital city, a kind of constructed city for just to be the capital, really, like a city of government. But anyway, it's now lucky enough to be able to boast uh, predicted the highest level of COVID-19 vaccinations, uh, um, vaccinated people, I should say. They predict that by the end of November, 99% of people who are eligible, I presume that means not including children, will have had the vaccine, which is great news for them and good news for Australia. Australia, like Thailand, had a lot of problems sourcing or getting hold of enough vaccine due to various reasons. I think both countries have similar problems about governments ordering enough or understanding or getting in early enough or just not being in a position of Western countries of having the vaccine being manufactured in their territory. Australia has obviously certain parts of Australia like Sydney have faced terribly long lockdowns, and that's had a dreadful effect on the economy as well, of course. But um, anyway, if more people are able to be vaccinated, then the lockdowns can be less or fewer or hopefully non-existent at some point. Okay, so away from Australia and back to our Sudoku puzzle, and I shall explain the rules of the game in case you've never played this game before of Sudoku. We have squares. Here you can see, look, 9 neat and empty squares, and here you can see 9 squares that have some numbers in them. And so the game is about placing numbers in squares. Huh? You say yes, I say. It's just a simple game of logic. It means that we try to fit numbers 1 to 9 in each of the rows across, each of the columns down, and each of these blocks. So you can see this block already has 4 numbers filled in. As I said, this number has none yet. Now you might think, oh, we should not look here. We must look over here or over here because it has more numbers filled in. And sometimes that's true, and sometimes that's not true. But anyway, I will tell you the first number and how we find it. So remember, number can appear once only. So once only in this row is 6 that appears here. And this 6 appearing here means this is the only 6 in this row. So if you kind of extend a black line, or in this case a marker pen, across this row, you'll see that these 2 squares are kicked out from the possibility of being a 6. And then we have 6 along here, and that can't be a 6. So if it's not in these 2 squares and not in this square, there is only 1 square left. So we know that that's a 6. Now we don't need to consider any other numbers that may or may not go in there. It's just not necessary. Okay? And so that's how we find numbers. We do similar kinds of logic things, and you can invent your own logic, read up and learn techniques, etc., etc. I think it's good to try out your own systems first of all. It's not always essential to read lots and lots of stuff, especially when you're beginning. I think it's good to really kind of let that light bulb click on. I learned Sudoku. I played Sudoku for many, many years before I ever saw anybody else playing Sudoku on YouTube or read too much about how to play the game. And I think that was great because it helped me really understand the game well. So now 3 blocking up here, so there's no 3 here. 3 blocking down this column here, 3 blocking across here. That gives me a 3 in that square there. Sometimes I go a little quiet. If you're a newcomer to this channel, I do occasionally shut up, and the main reason is it means I'm looking for anything that I can see, because I don't play this game before starting the video. Okay, so as I said, sorry about the silence. I am looking. I'm going through the numbers in a methodical way. I'm starting looking at ones and seeing all of the possibilities. And I don't normally do that because normally something jumps up and says, hey, look at me. But I am doing it right now, so you have to bear with me for a little while. Oh, there it is. So I had to count all the way through to 9. I had to look at all of the numbers in turn up to getting to number 9. I looked at all the possibilities for 1, possibilities for 2, etc. I've got through to the end at 9. I see 9 blocking across there. So 9 has to go there. Now 9 blocking across this way, and down here. That's a 9 to place there. This row here does not yet have a 4 in it. But you can see that this 4 stops. Remember, a number can appear only once in its block, so this 4 means no 4 can appear in these squares here, so there's no 4 there. This 4 stops this from being a 4, and so we know that 4 has to appear in that square there. Now 4 blocking down here, across here, and across here gives us a 4 here. If you're hearing that very strange bird, me too, it comes to my garden quite often. I can't see it, I have no idea, because it's hiding in the trees there somewhere, but it makes that very strange sound, whistling sound. If we have any ornithologists on the channel, please let me know what it is. We have a 5 blocking down here and a 5 blocking across here, so 5 has to go there. We have 1 blocking here and a 1 blocking here, so we know that 1 is in that square there. And we have 1 blocking down this column, 1 blocking down this column, 1 across this row and 1 across this row, so we know that 1 is there. 9 blocks across here, 9 blocks down here. 9 was our easy number today, wasn't it, really? It's just that because it's the last one, it took me a long time to find, because I had to count through from 1. If I'd started from 9 and gone backwards, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, it would have been the first number I'd seen, and time would have been saved. And that's often the case with Sudoku, is where you start looking, sometimes it can make a big difference as to how quickly you finish a puzzle. This 4 stops this square from being a 4, so 4 goes here. The last number in this block is a 3. 1, 2, we don't have a 3 yet, so put our 3 in now. Nine across here, 9 across here, 9 down here, and 9 down here gives us 9 here. I said at the beginning, actually, this square with no which is empty, it doesn't necessarily follow that that's going to be the most difficult to fill in. Actually, it turns out in this case, I've not really looked up here, and I have looked down here, but that's not always true. Sometimes it's actually easy to find numbers in an empty block like that, just because you have numbers surrounding it that kind of intersect, and you can see very easily up there. But in this case, I haven't been looking up there that much and haven't needed to start in that way. Okay, so now I need to start looking again at the numbers. I've kind of come to a bit of an impasse. I'm not seeing too much else, and so I need to double check. Actually, somehow this block looks the most promising. There's a lot of intersecting stuff here. I see 2 blocks here. 2 is in one of these 2 squares here. This is 3, so 3 is here or here. 7 down here, so 7 is there or there. It's a little... this looks like it should be full of potential, because we have 6 down here, so 6 is in one of these 2 squares. We have 8 down here, so 8 is in one of these 2 squares. So we've got 6 here, 8 here. 3 down here, across here. 3 is here, like this. 2's not very helpful though. 2 could be anywhere around there. Okay, alright, so I'm going to go back and start looking at the numbers again and see what I can see. So 1's, I know 1's are in those 2 squares or those 2 squares up there. 2's here. Here. So somewhere along there. Here or here. 3's now. Here or here. Fours. There or there for 4. There or there for 4. There or there for 5. Here and here for 5. Here. Ah, there you go. So finally see it. See, it's helpful to do this looking around. 5 blocking down here, 5 blocking down here, and 5 blocking across here. So there's just 1 square left where the 5 can go. And now 5 blocks across here. That will give us a 5 to place here. Well, that was very useful, wasn't it? 5 stops this from being 5. We don't have 5 in this row yet. So 5 goes here like this. The other missing number is a 7 for that row. Now 7 blocks this square, so 7 is here. Missing number here is now 2. 2 stops this from being a 2, so 2 is here, and 8 is the last number to get there. Now 8 blocks this square, so 8 goes here, and 2 is our last number to get from this block. If you're wondering why I knew that very quickly, well, I'd already examined the blocks and I already had the numbers in my head of what was missing there, so I didn't really need to think much about it. And hopefully this game does help a bit to improve your memory, but it doesn't necessarily make you have a perfect memory. I'm testament to that. My memory is quite awful at times, and as I get older it just seems to be getting worse. But that could be a good reason to continue playing this game, I think. All right, where are we now? Two and seven block down here, and 2 and 7 block across here. Right, 2 here, 7 here, 2 here, 7 here. This is something useful to look for, numbers that are similar in the same column or row that intersect somewhere, like that. So we know that 2 and 7 are in these squares here, and knowing that, that might give us the possibility of something else. It may or may not. What we would have to do is to look down here or across here and see what could be. So 2 and 7 are in here, so that means that, well, we already know 3 is up here actually. 6 is this square or this square. That's not going to give us anything. And 8 blocks here. Okay, so alright, so we can, okay, now need to kind of just try to work this out with you. Okay, I'm gonna show you in pencil marks, because for beginners this is, I don't need to do this, but I want to show you just how this works out. 2 and 7 block down here, 2 and 7 block across here. So this square and this square are 2 and 7. I'm going to put in pencil marks like this, even though I don't actually need to, because I want to show learners what to do in situations like this. Now 6 and 8 block across here, right? These are also missing numbers, 6 and 8. So 6 and 8 block this square. So we know that 6 and 8 have to be here. Right, now do you see what we've got? We've got all the numbers except one empty square. And so we know that whatever's left goes here. So we've got 1, we've got 2, we don't have 3, we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So we know that 3 has to go there. Okay, and now that we've done that, that's going to help us finish the game quite easily, I think, because 3 now blocks across here, 3 blocks across here, 3 blocks down here. That's going to give us a 3 to place there. Now, if this number says 6 or 8, we know that that's only 6 or 8, okay? And then we look back here and we see there's one other empty square in this same row. We know that this also could only be 6 or 8. If this can only be 6 or 8, and there's only one square left, we know that this can only be 6 or 8. And what do we know? We know there's an intersecting 6 here, so we know it can't be the 6. We know immediately that it's an 8, and we know that the 6 goes here. Now that we've got that 6 there, we know that this has to be an 8. And we know up here, 6 is going to be the missing number. And you'll see this pattern, this kind of thing over and over again when you play Sudoku. Okay, so that's why these pencil marks are useful as well when you get to play more difficult games. Not for this particularly, but for the harder stuff. Okay, so now 6 blocking down here, 6 blocking across here, and 6 up here. I'm never sure how much these videos are teaching or how much they are just solving the game. I try to make a bit of a balance, really. Sometimes I think the teaching aspect is useful, especially on the easier level puzzles. The harder level puzzles, generally people that watch the videos are people who know how to play the game quite well anyway, so I don't do much teaching in that sense. There's 2 blocks this square, so 2 goes here, and 7 is the last number to fill in there. Now here of course is the 2, and here of course is the 7. Last number to get in this column is 7. Oh, we have a lot filled in now, more than 2/3 already. And we still haven't touched this. So my prediction about whether or not this would be an easy one to fill in actually didn't quite come true. It is, at least I can get the first number now, because now we have, completed blocks here, and we can see a couple of 7s. So if you can see 2 of these numbers and these blocks are complete, you can guess that yes, I must be able to fill this number in, this digit in here. And it's true, 7 blocks up here, and this 7 blocks up here. So no 7s, no 7s, and 7 across here, and 7 across here. So the first number for block 1, because people sometimes number these block 1, block 2, block 3, etc. is that. So now the thing to do is to look at for the missing numbers down here, and I believe it's 5 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can't see a 5. We've got 6, 7, 8. We can't see a 9. But look, we've got an intersecting 9 here. So we know that the 9 must be in that square and the 5 has to be there. And now we can see a couple of 5s, and we've got a couple of completed blocks down here. So we know logically we must be able to find the 5 up here. Let's see. 5 blocks up here, 5 blocks up here, and 5 blocks across there. So 5's got to go in that square there. And now we've only got one number missing, and when we start searching to count through, we'll see 1 is actually the first number that we start counting, and we see that's the one that's missing. So 1 blocking across here, 1 blocking across here, and 1 up here gives us a 1 to place there. Nine blocking across here, 9 blocking across here. We don't yet have a 9 in this segment here, so we'll put in the 9 there. And now there's only one number missing down in this column, and it's a 2. We have a 1. We can't find a 2 anywhere, so we place our 2 there like that. Right, and this is the block to study next, because this we can't tell, this we can't tell, so we're back over here because this is the only place that's going to be fruitful. Now I can see that the 2 missing numbers here are 2 and 4. 2 and 4 are missing here. We have 1, there's no 2, we've got 3, there's no 4, 2 and 4, but we have an intersecting 4 here, so the 4 has got to be here, and the 2 has got to be here, and we'll use that 2 block this square, and this 2 we just wrote in a moment ago to block this square, and now we know 2 goes there. This 3 stops this from being a 3, but we don't yet have a 3 in this row, and so we know 3 goes there. 3 also blocks this square, so 3 is here, and the last number to get here is 8. There's only one number missing from this row now, it's a 6. So we put in the 6 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have an 8, so let's put in the 8. 8 stops that from being an 8. 8 goes here. And 4 is the last number to complete the puzzle. And so I hope you appreciate today's game and enjoyed solving it. It said medium level. Again, it's probably somewhere easy, in the easy range rather than medium range. I put pencil marks in, but I only really put these in to illustrate to newcomers what to do, not because they were really essential, but just sometimes it's easier to visualize. So thank you for joining me, and come back for more Sudoku anytime you're in a Sudoku mood. Thank you, bye bye.